Okay then. Excellent. My sleeper caught. Okay. I believe we're good. Welcome to a new playthrough. Alongside of my playthrough through Ace Academy, we will be journeying through yet another game, Tyranny. And just like all other previous journeys that have been completed by far, another one begins, but with a different character. We'll do normal. This is my first time playing this game. I'll go into detail when we start creating our character. But first, we wait. We wait. Now hopefully this doesn't pull a Disco Elysium on me and having to make me wait for an extremely long time, which I don't think is a habit, hopefully, for this game. Oh, there we go.
For over 400 years.
Oh shit.
The armies of Kairos the Overlord have swept across the known world. All who stood against them fell before their might.
Oh boy, it's a bit laggy.
Even the Archons, women and men of immense power, were forced to kneel, chained to the Overlord's will. Now Kairos' final conquest has come to our corner of the world, and two of the Overlord's armies compete for the honor of taking our lands. The elite disfavored, and the teeming horde of the Scarlet Chorus. The voices of Nerat, Spymaster and Archon of Secrets, guides the fierce and undisciplined masses of the Scarlet Chorus. With each battle, the Scarlet Chorus grows stronger, as the defeated are given a simple choice: serve or die. Graven Ash, Archon of War and the Overlord's most loyal general, leads the disfavored. Though small in number, Kairos' ironclad legion has never met true defeat in open battle. Watching over the two generals is Tunon, the Adjudicator, Archon of Justice, eldest of Kairos' minions. Tunon brings Kairos' laws to newly conquered lands, aided by the Fatebinders, judges and executioners of the Overlord's laws. You were among the youngest of the court of Fatebinders when Kairos' armies came to our lands. How could we have known that the fate of thousands would rest in your hands?
Indeed. Right then. Lanky. Nah. Okay, don't want him too tanned. Hmm. Hmm. Wanted. Now then, allow me to actually wait. I should probably read out the rule first. In the Northern Empire, where you were born, men enjoy equal protections under the laws of the Overlord Kairos. In the southern lands of Tears, only men may own or captain ships, but real estate is restricted to women. Men may lease, but durable ownership of the land in the Tears always passes to the eldest daughters of sisters. Most sons enter their father's profession by their mid-teens. Those without a profession or family lands to work can find purpose by pledging service to one of the Overlord's mighty Archons. Criminals, derelicts, and others are often conscripted into the armies of the Archons. If a child cannot forge his own skin, he will certainly find one in battle. So then, this character of ours will be called, well, as by the title of the stream, his name is Rivan. He is, well, he was, well, an orphan. He was left out in the woods by unknown origins and was taken in by a village and was trained in the ways of nature as a ranger, learning to appreciate nature for all it has provided for life and even in death. And now he strives to do what he can to be the guardian of nature he desires to become, in order to help preserve nature for future generations and beyond. And now, we select our portrait. Okay, but first, hair color is going to be, can I rotate? Oh, yeah, there we go.
Got it.
Ooh, that's actually pretty sick. Nah. Not bad. Go with that. Not gonna go with any facial hair because he's young. Yeah, I like that one.
Will do. See that? To battle!
I'll just hold on to this. That wasn't so hard. Quite down.
Yeah, too coarse. I think
My wounds are slowing me down. I need rest.
I like
Found
this.
something. Heads up, we have company. Flawless.
Yeah, I think I like that one. What's this? Oh, these are tattoos. Ooh. Yeah, I guess he was raised in nature. Raised in, well, outdoors in the wilds, so I guess he would have tribal tattoos of some kind. Which one would, is on his back? Oh, it's on his arm. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, this would be the most fitting, because nature. Is there anything else? Doesn't look like it? Yeah, I think I like this one. The tree. Yeah, that fits his, well, attunement to nature. So, let's see. Maybe brown. Actually, yeah, I like that one. Yeah, that looks good. Alright. Okay, this is the slowly moving to the female section. I think this one looks good. Yeah. Looking good. Neat. Moving on. How did you join? I believe he... Yeah, because I did research beforehand, so I can go through the character creation a little bit faster. And yes, I will be going with the hunter, the hunter origin. When the leader of your home village spoke out of turn, one time too many, agents of the Overlord put the whole town to the torch to contain the spread of insubordination. The bounding Viper tribe came across the smoking ruins of your village when the beast's matriarch found you frozen but unafraid. The mighty leader took you in and raised you with the protection of our tribe. For years you lived with these wild beastmen in their migratory homes throughout the mountains. But the bounding vampires, the bounding vipers, were a dying breed. Each long winter took a great toll than the last, and once the dwindling tribe was too weak to defend its lands, disfavored soldiers came to dispense of these ravenous scavengers. Scavengers your tribe had become. Finding a human amongst the wild tribe, the disfavored soldiers made a point of taking you alive. News of the wild child of the north eventually spread to the Archon of Justice, and he had ordered and he'd order you released from captivity and delivered onto his court. Yeah, I've already read through the other ones on the wiki, so yes. Boop. Primary expertise. Yes. Because I know I got like a short bow proficiency from my history, so... I believe I had... The build I went for and was going for is dual wielding, short bow maybe, and either... and some spells perhaps. But yeah. God damn it. Oh no. Go back. What's this? Hobble. Yeah, because I believe I already... Oh, I don't like the look of this. Yeah, I guess I went with okay, because I think history gives you the short bow proficiency, if I do recall. Yeah, Tyranny. Yeah, because soldier, hunter, there it is. Yeah, it gives me bows, dodge, and subterfuge. Yep. Bows, dodge, and subterfuge. So yes. Anyway. Yeah, so bows, dodge, and subterfuge. Probably gonna go with bow. And then secondary expertise, either one of the spells. Because yeah, I am going with a sort of ranger based build. Anyway. Let's see, your ability. Short bow is the weapon of choice for those who choose to attack from a distance, avoiding direct engagement with their enemies. Yep, fair enough. And I believe you can also develop other skills while you're in the game. So I guess not starting out with any weapon, well, not starting out with any like close range weapon skills in the beginning you can eventually get, train them yourselves apparently, I've heard. So yeah, I don't know, but yeah, I would just increase my short bow ability, because why not? Because I think it's better than to spread myself too thin. And yeah, and besides, I don't know if I'll be able to be quick to switch weapons mid-fight. I mean, could be, I don't know the full mechanics, but yeah, we'll give it a try. Anyway, hobble. Cooldown. Target enemy's feet with a range attack, hobbling them is successful. Okay. Okay, hot shot. Delay aim to focus the target's heart. Gain additional accuracy for this attack and leave this target. Okay, hold on. I think hard shot's good. Vitality, touch of atrophy. Magic staff, lore, control atrophy. Gather and pick energy, channel it into an enemy, sapping target's might and vitality. Frost spells. If a target in harsh winter cold, leaving them frozen for a time. Frost damage. Shock spell. Charged fist. Channel explosive surge of and sending them flying back. What would be more ranger like? Ranger who shoots lightning, ranger that drains life, ranger that boosts them, buffs themselves, freezes people. I'll go with Frost. Frozen Grasp. Yeah. Banner customization. Anything nature-like? Ooh, actually. Because well, according to the origin, well, Rivan's from, well, the Bounding Vipers. So, I mean, yeah, it's possible. But any more nature-like symbols? Ooh, this is a good one. Yeah, because I don't think... I mean, whilst it would be tempting to go for the serpent one, I think, realistically, Rivan would not want to have any Viper tribe insignias on him. Otherwise, that might cause some crazy shit to happen to him. So yes. Well, perhaps I should make that. Yeah, I like that one. Yep. Probably have to change that. Oh, that's way too... Green, dark green and black. Gray, that works. Too bright. Dark green. Or do I go the other way around? I'll go with dark green for now. Yeah. His name is Rivan. Alright. What's the fuck is that symbol here? Because you're training a short bow. Ah, okay, I see. Because you're casting frost spells. Yeah. Finesse. The fuck is quickness? Determines how often characters use their abilities as cooldown durations. Ah, okay. Mental challenges. Okay, will and magic defenses. What's the highest stat I can go up to now that I think about it? 18's the highest, okay. Well, anyway, its parry against melee attack and spells. Well, the thing is, I've heard that you don't really need to level up much, or to even use the staff to cast magic, so, yeah. So I think I'm just gonna ignore the staff one, because, yeah, I believe you can cast magic without the use of the staff, so, yeah. Suppose it's already pretty high. Difficult terrain to dodge. To dual wield. I think I may plan to run dual wield blades in the future, maybe. Or to use one blade, who knows. I'll pump that up a little bit. Just gonna pump up my dodge a bit. Yes, conquest. Because I want to actually make my decisions in the game. And there we go. That didn't take too long, did it?
All the world has fallen to Kairos. And now the Overlord's eye is on the Tears, our home. The last corner of the world free of Kairos' reign. Two armies, the Disfavored and the Scarlet Chorus, march south from the Northern Empire, the last realm to fall to Kairos a century prior. In the early days of 428, Kairos' armies arrive at the Gates of Judgment, the mountainous border that we Tearsmen so long believed unassailable. Unable to agree on a unified plan of defense, the various leaders of the Tears sit and wait for each other to deal with the conquerors. Until it's too late.
During the conquest, you will decide your character's actions during Kairos' invasion of the Tears, shaping the world through which you will adventure over the course of the game. Each choice you make affects your character and how major factions of Tears respond to you. Your decisions matter. Choose wisely. Year 1 of Tyr's conquest. The Bastard City. The Bastard City stood on the northern border between Kairos and... in position between two realms. Oh, okay. Between Kairos' empire and the Tyrs. Name of out of legend, centuries the Overlord has consolidated power. And however, at the crossroads between realms, the city was a nexus of commerce. To the Tyrs, it was the center of all wealth. To a northerner, it was little more than a backwater trading post. Its symbolic status as a gateway to the continent made it a natural first target in Kairos' military conquest. Circumstances were ideal for you to prove your worth as a soldier in Kairos' armies. Taking the city would send a message to the rest of the Tyrs. Kairos' will is insurmountable. Selecting a token on the map to begin. Infiltrate the Tyrs. Gates of Judgment. Well, I got subject. Well, my character's a sneaky type, so infiltrate the Tyrs. History would remember the Gates of Judgment as the first battle of the conquest, but the real combat unfolded with the advance units of both armies preparing for the coming war. The Disfavored and the Scarlet Chorus each had a plan to infiltrate the capital city. Which army did you join? A, the Disfavored. Okay, first I need to know more about these guys. Okay, Disfavored. Disciplined and battle-hardened, the Disfavored are an elite legion in Kairos' army. They spearheaded the conquest of the younger realms, finding themselves always outnumbered but never outclassed. Led by steadfast and dutiful Gravinash, whom they follow with obsessive devotion, they are committed by imposing their interpretation of order upon the relative lawlessness of the Tyrs. The Legion only tolerates Northerners in their ranks, priding themselves on high standards and cultural purity. Alright. Oh shit, wait. Okay. The Scarlet Chorus is a little more than a gang of thugs and their captive slaves. Rather than organize other commissioned officers, the Chorus follow a hierarchy seemingly ruled by whoever has the bravado to command and defend their position. At the head of this chaotic pecking order, the Archon of Secrets, better known as the Voices of Narat, treats the Scarlet Chorus as his personal army. The Scarlet Chorus often suffers tremendous losses after battle, only to swell in the aftermath when captured enemies and collateral prisoners are given cruel opportunity to join or die. Well, that's gonna be kind of hard to, But how will our ranger boy fit in? Our worshipper of nature? Because by far it doesn't seem like, I think... Well, the thing is, Rivan was kind of forced into this war himself, so, hmm. 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 Huh. Okay. Oh. Battery. Hmm. Hmm. This is gonna be tough. Hmm. Hmm. Man, this is tough. What would he join? Because I know he loves nature, but obviously these two don't exactly have anything to do with it. Hmm. Because he was raised in the wilds, and he has learned to appreciate nature and the wisdom it provides. So, okay, I think I'll go with the Scarlet Chorus because, well, because my character was born and raised in the wilds, which is often, well, out in the wilds, it's often less order and more entropy because and although nature has laws itself, uh it's often chaotic itself with the natural with well organisms constantly competing each other for survival which and well that follows the rules of natural selection, and I feel like Rivan would probably join the Scarlet Chorus because it basically represents actually, oh man, this is tough. uh, hmm because the thing is, Rivan would be less likely to join the disfavored because the disfavored want to impose their own cultures and eliminate others in the process. And well, obviously, the disfavored would probably be like, yeah, they shit on other cultures, even though there can be other even though that the cultures they shit on tend to be, well, can have value, well, that value nature, which Rivan would like more. So I guess Rivan would least likely join the disfavored legion is because, well, the fact that they're like a Templarish like order that likes to that wishes to impose their own norms and cultural traditions over others, and yeah, and Rivan is already aware that there are cultures out there that treat nature with respect, and I don't think that disfavored has much respect for nature itself, so they're more focused on, well, high class hierarchy society shit. So, and the Scarlet Chorus isn't so much within those lines, so yeah, I think it would go for the Scarlet Chorus. You join the Scarlet Chorus as they raided villages and small towns, conscripting every able-bodied man and woman into the army. The voices of Narat, more info please, known in the official capacity as the Archon of Secrets, the voices of Narat is equal parts genius and madman. Rumors about that he can steal the mind of others, though few, if any, are alive to confirm as much. The subject of his interrogation are never heard from again, and the Archon is able to recall the memories of his victims with startling accuracy. He is the consistent leader of the Scarlet Chorus, vacillating between commanding from the vanguard and directing armies in absentia. Despite his strange methods, no one doubts that the voices of Narat is an accomplished strategist, even suggesting that his madness stems from thinking hundreds, perhaps thousands of steps ahead of his enemies. Yeah, as the raided villages in their army, emphasize the rewards of conscription and enslavement over wanton bloodshed. Apparently, his soldiers needed the reminder. What about the other ones? The Lyncher seals in order to capture the border of the garrison, Graven Ash. Yeah. Okay, I didn't know they actually give off more information, so I guess Lord in Ages Past, Archon Ash now serves Kairos as the supreme commander of the disfavored legion and is charged with conquering tiers. Graven Ash shares a powerful bond with each soldier under his command and regards each of them as family. The death of a soldier at enemy hands represents a grievous loss to the old general who bears the burden of his love with mournful stoicism. Well, I don't feel like Rivan would get along with Raven Ash because his cultural beliefs are most likely going to be very different from what the disfavored legion believes in, so yeah. Actually, wait a minute. Wait a fucking minute. Actually, wait. Raided villages and small towns. Actually, nah. Actually, I kind of changed my mind. Wait, what the fuck is Southerners? Actually, wait. Let me look at this again. Actually, maybe not, because apparently they often like raid villages and small towns. I mean, probably the disfavored legion too. Who knows? But I don't think Rivan. Actually, now that I think about it, it probably would be the opposite. He would join the disfavored over the Scarlet Chorus because I think. Yeah, because they said they raid villages and small towns, which I don't think Rivan would like, because again, those villages could be like people who actually respect, who have culture, yeah, who follow cultural beliefs that respect nature and its laws. So he wouldn't want to, I don't think he would want to terrorize those kinds of civilizations should he ever encounter any more, because he has experienced that kind of life in the Bounding Viper tribe, I think that was called. That was the tribe he was raised in. So yeah, I don't think he would want to do that. So he would join the disfavored. There we go. The oath-bound scouts identified a modest border defense and collaborated on an organized attack that would leave the enemy uncoordinated and cut off from aid. You oversaw the preparations and offered your opinions on the strategy. When the clashing of swords and spears fell to silence, followed by the cheering on disfavored scouts, you're the least surprised. Inside agent. You found an ally within the city to prepare away from approaching the armies containing the fire. Bastard City's resident fire mages threatened the first leg of the conquest. Kairos' forces put the stop to their unchecked power. I'll go for inside agent. Yeah. With the border garrison captured by your disfavored allies, you traveled ahead of Kairos' armies and lurked in the shadows of the Bastard City. You decided that converting one of the locals to Kairos' side would help bring the city to its knees. After all, corruption starts from within. Yeah, I feel like that would be a Rivan thing to do. What's the other one? Your fiercest opponents in the Bastard City were the mages of the School of Wild Wrath, too barbaric to use their powers responsibly. The unbridled practitioners would need to be stopped. How did you trick the hot-blooded mages into doing their undoing? Actually, would you get an agent? I think I'm gonna be sticking with the disfavored side. So, yeah, because I don't think Rivan would ever want to be with the Scarlet Chorus, ever. Because, yeah, because those are the people probably responsible for killing off his tribe, so, yeah, he ain't gonna join up with them. So, I think, when I thought about, him being an inside agent, actually, I think, actually no, yeah, I think he'd be probably going after the fire mages because, well, because according to this, they're too barbaric to use their powers responsibly, so that would probably mean they've been using their destructive powers on an excessive scale, which is causing, like, various damages to the environment, which is something he does not like at all. And they probably, like, used a lot of resources without giving much back to the environment itself, and probably decimating the fertile lands itself, preventing, like, plant life and animal and other wildlife from, well, prospering, or at least being preserved. So, yeah. You lure the hot-headed mages into an ambush where the Legion of the Disfavored waited to spring the trap. The soldiers were hungry for a chance to subdue the arcane branch of Tyr's resistance. Yes, sorry, there was an insect flying around. Killed it. We're good. Alright. The mages took their most dangerous research outside of the Bastard City walls. You sent a scout to sabotage a delicate ritual which caused an explosion that injured or killed many senior practitioners. Enraged, Enraged, the survivors expended themselves on a chase through the surrounding hills with the disfavored surrounded them and brought them to heal. The few that survived the attack were conscripted by the Scarlet Chorus. Betrayal of the Bastard City. Your tactics of infiltration placed you in the Bastard City ahead of the main armies. Your work softened the city's defenses for the arrival of Kairos' forces, but you wanted a decisive gesture that would give your allies a meaningful advantage. How did you assist in the fall of Bastard City? Yeah, okay, wait. As a place of success, but the people in order. It's a little more than a sprawling slum. To the year, the code as a city. What's this? Spread fear of assassination. Duel the city marshal. Incite a riot. What's this? Warriors of Spite. You challenged the commander of the Bastard City's defenses to an honorable fight to the death. The disfavored wish to spare soldier lives for the battles ahead, and civilian lives for occupation. What's this? Keeping to the shadows, you eliminated the leaders of the Bastard City one by one. Okay. Spreading a report and disaffected into a hidden army of secret doors. Once the dust of the army wished to bolster the crews of these sleeper cells. Searing palm, gather heated energy into your hands and release it onto a foe. The target ignites in flame, burning over time. These are all pretty good abilities, not gonna lie. What would be a Rivan thing to do? Because Rivan would not be the person to, like, challenge someone to a battle of honor and shit. I don't think he's one to do that. I think he's more into the manipulative and strategic play rather than just head-on battles. So I feel like he's going to be more discreet about how he, makes his progress in taking over the Bastard City. So I guess for once he will do something that's in favor of the Scarlet Chorus, but yeah. Although you wouldn't like them, but the most Rivan thing to do would be inciting a riot, manipulating the poor crowds into rebelling, telling them that they got nothing to lose, and rebel against the people leading the Bastard City. It didn't take much to convince the bastard cities downtrodden that Tyros was the superior power. You armed them with weapons and knowledge of a signal you would raise when the time was right. As the armies appeared outside of the walls, you ignited a spark that fanned their anger into a full-scale riot. The chaos they spread in Kairos' name weakened the city to such an extent that the inevitable fall was but a formality. Ooh. What's this? The bastard city settled into a new state of normalcy. With every tower displaying Kairos' banner, your name was whispered alongside the rumors of a decorated career to come. The armies divided into two fronts and migrated south. Tunin, who's that? The educators, the Archon of Justice, rulers of the conquered realms, over their disputes, oldest Archons descend to conquerors. Disputes with Kairos' authority, his true appearance remains behind an iron mask to face their judgment. Impartial, sober creature, wholly obsessed with justice and order, though assumed to be powerful combatant, the registers of the Tyranny, justice course, and of fate binders to act as his eyes, his ears, as well as judges, juries, and executioners. Okay? Tuna sent word that you were to join the next frontier of Tyros' conquest, either as a judge and overseer of the settlement of Lethian's Crossing, or as a war advisor with armies advancing into the realm of Apex. What's this? Built in the shadow of Old Walsh Junction in the realm of Haven, the Lethian's Crossing is a growing trading settlement. The nearby rivers are rich in iron ore, though the locals lack the technology to smelt and forge the element. In the years following Kairos' conquest of Tears, the population of Lethian's Crossings swelled, with refugees fleeing the destruction of their homelands and presence of the forged brown mining the iron. Along with their guards makes this makeshift settlement a vital resource for Kairos' armies. Oh. A war advisor or an overseer? The troops of Mountain Realm were based out of the city of their valley, biding their time as their neighbors in the bastard tier fell in the Second Year of War. A joint force of disfavored and Scarlet Chorus crossed over the mountains to take control of Tyr's Central Valley. Now, I don't think Rivan would go for less. Actually. Well, I wouldn't say Rivan's a man of war. I mean, he did fight in one, but that wasn't really by his choice. He would probably go for Lethian's Crossing, because I think... hold on, let me get more info about this. It's a village of some sort. I guess... Yeah, I think he would go for Lethian's Crossing, although he doesn't exactly approve of mining operations, because it involves, like, literally digging out vital metals out of the earth, which usually help nature, like, help the the environment to, well, provide resistances against, like, natural earthquakes and such, but, well, I don't think he would want to take part in another war. Because, again, he's not much of a conquest guy, he's more of a nature guy. And since this trading settlement is, well, built into, well, the lesser urbanized areas. It's more, well, to the more rural areas. Yeah, I guess he would most likely want to, in a sense, settle down in that kind of area. So I guess I'll go with Lithian's Crossing. Yep. Confirm. Year 2 of Kairos' conquest. Alright. That's the mining that's the... yeah. That's the processing factory, I'm guessing. Years ago, Lithian the Bold founded a small merchant town. At the intersection of the ancient old walls, a pact between the settlers and a mercenary company meant that caravans were able to travel without fear of bandits or bane, and the town thrived in modest significance. Lithian's Crossing drew Kairos' attention for the iron deposits in the surrounding hills. While the region under Kairos' control, the northern smith mages could set up workshop and refine ore and arm the disfavored with the finest weapons in the known world. The Archon of Secrets dismantled the mercenary support with a generous bribe, taking the crossing in a bloodless victory. Tunin dispatched you to travel alongside Kairos' forces to bring order to the region. The Cult of Siren? Stent the minds of its spheres. Says the iron must flow. Let me take a look-see between them. Kairos' smith mages worked day and night to create weapons. No one faulted their dedication, yet the production was low. The plans came to light proved divisive over to the disfavored and Scarlet Chorus. On the other hand, any additional manpower was needed for fighters, not forges. On the other hand, the celebrated weaponry of Kairos' armies needed to be fiercely guarded. Draw from Scarlet Chorus recruits. Conscribe. Oh wait, no. Actually, no. That means. Oh wait, no. That literally means force. Yeah, gather bunch of beastmen and basically make them into slaves. Nah, that's not what Rivan would do, because he was a beastman himself. Well, he was in a tribe of beastmen himself, and he would not like to enslave any of his people. So he would not do that, because he would not do that to others who pay their respects to nature. He would never want to do that. So what's this one? The Cult of Siren. The Archon of Siren used their arcane charms to lure the locals into joining the Archon's army. As the patroness of the Scarlet Chorus, her efforts were critical to the conscription of new recruits. When the enthralled favored soldier, the enthralled disfavored joined her cult. His company feared that the Archon was growing out of control and needed to be stopped. Okay. I don't know what that means, send it to the Vanguard, but I think Rivan would most likely... yeah, I don't think Rivan would help improve iron production, because, again, that involves, like, literally digging shit out of the earth, which can, in fact, cause harmful effects to the environment, especially with the processing factory causing pollution by emitting like tons of carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, and other harmful greenhouse gases in excessive amounts that would lead to lots of environmental damage in the long-term future. So he would not want to be part of that. He would probably just be involved in something that doesn't involve increasing the severity of environmental damage, so he would most likely just go and deal with some cult. Anyway, the disfavored demanded that the Archon of Song cease her recruitment practices and that they be allowed to violently subdue her cult of her followers. The loss of soldiers was a significant setback to the Scarlet Chorus's conscription efforts. In response to your ruling, the Archon of Siren departed your company in bitter silence, but not before releasing your arcane hold over their latest batch of recruits. The disfavored remained obstinate that the dispersal of her cult continue as planned, hunting down the confused or memory-stricken innocents they put to death to those who couldn't beat to obedience. The Scarlet Chorus barely restrained themselves from their indignity, which proved a major setback to their army's strength in numbers. Alright, the Red Anvil. Ancient threats. Drawn to the arcane energy around the forges, the mystical predators from the nearby old walls began to raid Lithian's Crossing at all hours. Both Kara's armies reserved their strength for the front lines of war. If the city required protection, you had to delegate responsibilities somewhere. Okay. One of Kara's Smith mages swore allegiance to the Scarlet Chorus. Jealousy hoarding the secret of iron forging. This fear demanded the Smith's immediate return. The Scarlet Chorus insisted that they were within their rights to allegiance from any source. Tempers flares and the forge cooled as the arguments stalled productivity. Well, again, Rivan would not be involved with anything involving the Smith, because that shit's causing a lot of pollution, because you know how much stuff they're burning, and you know what they're burning, and how much they are burning to, you know, smelt a bunch of refined metal tools and such unnatural, well, generally unnatural materials. Anyway, well, I mean, I wouldn't say it's unnatural, but more like if it's purified into a state that isn't normal for it to exist as in nature. So, yeah. So I guess it would be, I guess he would just be focusing on defending. Actually, that depends on what this ancient threat is, because if this threat is nature, is actually like, you know, naturally occurring part of nature, he would not want to kill it. I don't think. This is tough. I guess Rivan wouldn't. I don't think Rivan would. Or maybe. That it really depends if these mystical predators are actually natural or not. Because if they actually exist in nature, naturally occurring and everything, then that means, well, we're basically killing off, well, animals that are probably, well, necessary for the environment. So, I guess Rivan would probably just go over and help out the smith as much as he does not want to, well, help them out. It's better than to kill off more life, more possibly naturally occurring life forms that help the environment preserve itself and everything. Actually, or maybe Rivan could help deal with the ancient threats. Maybe just out of curiosity to discover what they are and whether or not they're actually supposed to be naturally occurring in nature, or is their existence or is their existence because of what humanity has done in terms of like artificial development of technology and such. So I guess he would probably be more invested in ancient threats, see what's what. As the largest army, it has the Scarlet the strength. Supposed to the iron that fell to them. Nah. Yeah. At your command, the Scarlet Chorus flooded the streets of Lethian's Crossing, infighting and competition among the unruly gangs made for disorganized patrols and distracted lookouts. However, when the ominous tide of old wild predators assaulted the city in previously unseen numbers, it took the full force of the Scarlet Chorus to repel the attack. Who controlled the crossing? Tragedy struck when a mercenary hired by the Voices of Narat injured a forge-bound artisan, leaving him unable to practice. Okay, what's that? Magesmiths sworn to cover service through their operations. In the tiers, overseen by Tunen and his quota of Fatebinders, each forge bound uses magic as a tool to augment their personal craft, most likely commonly smelting and metalworking, but carpenters, tailors, and tanners are found in the ranks, and each mage tries to create that which is impossible with mundane hands, most notably the forge bound are the sole masters of ironworking in the known world, using spells of fire resistance to weigh into forge fires, and the forge bound can work at iron at temperatures no other forge can match, and with hands-on touch with that no mundane smith could hope to achieve. Because of this vital skill, the forge bound considered the strategic war asset that the lives. Okay. Right. The person needs to leave the cities in the hands of Kairos' more responsible servants. Only a token garrison could be left behind while the armies returned to the front, as the disfavored and Scarlet Chorus showed increasing tension and hostility towards each other. Tunen decreed that it is best that only one force control the crossing. Who will control the crossing? Yeah. Because gonna support the disfavored for the majority of the time, because Rivan does not like the Scarlet Chorus, because again they raid villages and towns and then basically enslave people, and they're practically the reason why his tribe went to shit. They're probably the main reason why his tribe was ransacked and destroyed and everything. So he's not gonna do much in their favor. The Spirit placed a modest garrison in the settlement of Lethian's Crossing, so the force was larger than might be needed to police the small settlement. Protecting the forge-bound and artisans became the true agenda of the defensive force, as these magical craftsmen kept the disfavored invasion forces suited in iron. Relieved at the departure of the Scarlet Chorus, the citizens of this Lethian's Crossing felt that they got at least two of the burden. That they got at least two burden the least of two burdens. Receive word from Raven Ash, thanking you for your decision. The Forgebound and their weaponry could not be entrusted to the voices of Narat. Neat. Athena's Crossing. 429 TR. With the mercenaries expelled and Athena's Crossing under new leadership, Kairos' forces congratulated themselves on bringing order to the settlement and guaranteeing a productive flow of resources. Over the course of this diversion, the army front advanced further into the tiers. Your skills were needed for the realm of Azure Stalwart or the Vellum Citadel. What is the Vellum Citadel? The Vellum Citadel was a library fortress, the largest archive of the written word in the tiers. The School of Ink and Quill protected and maintained the archive of ancient lore for centuries, standing apart from the political upheavals of younger realms as an enduring pillar of knowledge and culture. Okay. With its easily defended position and a rich military tradition, the realm of Stone was the most formidable realm in the tiers. What's Azure? Kairos dispatched the Archon of Stone to subjugate the nation of Azure. I don't know what that is. I don't know what Azure is, because there's not much info in that. The Vellum Citadel. The Kairos concurring rays built on Citadel its treasures, knowledge, and secrets. I think Rivan would go for the Citadel because it'll help him gain more knowledge about his current surroundings and possibly more about, well, nature and its environments that he had not known before, and which allows him to improve his knowledge of his surroundings, because again, knowledge is power. So I don't see why Rivan would not go for this one, because again, he values knowledge, which pretty much helps him survive and gains more familiarity with, well, the situations and, well, with future scenarios. So yeah, because he prefers to be well informed rather than being oblivious. So yeah, here we go for that one. 430, year 3. What do we got? The Vellum Citadel was an archive and library of a massive scale. Its inhabitants were known as the School of Ink and Quill, a circle of mages that centuries ago carved out their own mountainous refuge on the lands unsettled by the other major realms. Legends said that the Citadel housed a treasure trove of arcane knowledge, and the Overlord's spies infiltrated the school and confirmed as much. The time was right to send a detachment to the great library fortress and force the scholars to yield to Kairos. Song of Ensnarement. Chain of Command. A detachment of Kairos' armies marched onto the Vellum Citadel, expecting an orderly surrender. As they neared the main gates, a blast of arcane energy struck the commanders dead. Suddenly, the highest-ranking officer alive. Kairos' forces looked to you for the next step. The call weighed onto your mind and had an immediate influence on the soldiers' losses. What's the other one? Siren, the Archon of Secrets, used their power to enthrall the enemy mages who crowded on the Citadel walls. After Kairos' forces rounded up the arcane protectioners, the Spaver began executing the new captives before they could share dangerous knowledge, a crime under Kairos' law, with the Scarlet Chorus. yeah, I think Rivan would help muzzle the mages, because, well, he hates the Scarlet Chorus. Because again, like I said before, they're most likely the people who fucked over his tribe and pretty much dismantled the culture and traditions that they had. So, yeah, he fucking hates them. So, yeah. You count the disfavored with a compromise. The sage's mouth would be bound with iron bridles, preventing them from speaking their forbidden knowledge. So, yeah. What's it called? Song of the Samurai? Yeah. As his disfavored fitted the sages with their restraining mask, the Scarlet Chorus openly criticized the suppression of enemy intelligence. He gave the soldiers a stern lesson on Kairos' laws and sensitive treatment of forbidden knowledge, but that didn't stop the whispering and rumors that the conquest was being mismanaged. Well, I mean, Rivan would also agree with Kairos' law about this, because again, knowledge is forbidden for a reason, and such forbidden knowledge and power could end up being incredibly destructive on a massive scale, which he would find to be a great crime against nature should that power should go wild and untamed. So, yeah. Right. What's next? Spy Master Agents. Right command. What's this? A group of enemy mages surrendered to the disfavored, claiming to be spies loyal to the voices of Narat. No one in the army could verify the claim. The disfavored were ready to interrogate the mages, but the Scarlet Chorus protested, demanding that the prisoners to be given to their custody. They couldn't arrest the voices of Narat, secrets falling into the wrong hands. Right command. The Archon of Secrets incited Scarlet Chorus. Recruits to fight their leaders, bosses were killed, and supplanted left and right. The disfavored demanded to enter the practice for the good of the conquest. Well, Rivan would not take part in this because he fucking hates the Scarlet Chorus, because again, they're most likely the people who fucked over his tribe. And pretty much committed a crime against nature by killing off a tribe that actually worships and respects nature and wants to help preserve it and such. So yeah, living in nature as well they should be without harming it. Pretty much living in nature like any other wild animal would, that would not end up harming the environment. So yeah. Anyway, so I guess it would be more into... Yeah. He would be more interested in doing the Spy Master issue rather than, well, rather than to suppress this, Scarlet Chorus recruits to fight off their leaders, because again, he wants to see the Scarlet Chorus fall, because again, they're very much likely the reason why his tribe got fucked over. So, yeah. So, he's just gonna be helping out with the Spy Master thing. Though it meant angering the Scarlet Chorus, which is good, because again, he fucking hates the Scarlet Chorus. So, yeah. The mages were disfavored property. They remained in custody while you reviewed their claims. You took time poring over the mages' confiscated documents, finding no blatant messages to the voices of Narat or anyone else. You resolved to question the mages yourself. When you reached their cells, you discovered the bodies, each of them slaughtered in a grisly display. Tense discussion and accusations followed, but no evidence suggests a responsible party. You were forced to let the matter drop. The Edict of Fire. Crestfallen by the preferential treatment you showed the disfavored, the Scarlet Chorus retreated deeper into the mountains, leaving your detachment with the skeleton crew. Tunin sent word that Kairos' patience had run thin. The Overlord would cast an edict of fire onto the enemy. What the fuck's an edict? Most powerful magic is that of edict. Commandments cast upon whole regions that can control and destroy man and nature alike. What? Wait, nature, you say? Well, Rivan ain't gonna like that. Once cast, an edict can rain fire, wither crops, demoralize cities, usher in endless night, or do whatever it is that Kairos envisioned. No known force, magical or mundane, can stop an edict. Well, shit. To each edict is often worded to include some condition or contingency that would see its end. Some edicts have been short-lived, delivering days of wanton catastrophe, just as many lingered for centuries. Well, fuck. The parchment arrived with a slender case of engraved iron written on it the words of a spell powerful enough to destroy the Vellum Citadel. Oh shit. You had the choice of when to read the edict. Reading it at sunrise would offer your enemies no warning of the destruction of the devastation to come. You could also wait till sunset, give them ample time to flee or make amends. Give no warning. Give 1 day's warning. Well, Ron's not gonna be liking the use of this edict because, again, as it says before, it destroys both man and nature alike, and he does not want to have that shit on his hands, but he has to do it reluctantly. Often to give the enemy no quarter, you proclaim the edict of fire at the first moment of dawn, granting the enemy no warning of destruction to come. Though the chorus insisted your actions doomed their spies, this favorite applauded your decision. Or, claiming that the spies were the Citadel, the Scarlet Chorus urged you to warn the mages of the Overlord's edict, granting their request when you met with the enemy under a blue flag of peace and warn them of their doom, giving the Chorus spies and the enemy a chance to run. Well, fuck the Scarlet Chorus. You read the edict as the new sun rose behind the Citadel, casting a long shadow in its wake. You were the last person to see that hall of knowledge the moment before devastation. The earth shook, and red-orange light glowed in the foundation of the sprawling citadel. Bubbling up from under the library, a torrent of lava heated with an explosive force, gushing from the windows and between loose bricks, melting hostile trenches in the surrounding land. The mages awoke to smoke and fire. For most, it is already too late. Only a handful of bewildered mages escaped the smoldering collapse of the massive library fortress. Kairos' will be done. Damn. The armies of Tyros left the devastation of Vellum Citadel in silence. From that day forward, the tears came to know that the once noble citadel as the burning library. This was an undisputed loss of resources, knowledge, culture, and life. But a message has been sent. The Overlord will not tolerate defiance. You didn't have long to rest before Tunin called you into service once more. You were the last to depart from the mountains as you journeyed off. You spotted a few campfires in the mountains. They were mere specks, dwarfed by the inferno. The last gasps of survivors were perhaps looters from Kairos' armies, bored and daring enough to pick through the ashes. Conquest complete. You have reached the end of Kairos' conquest. Do you want to continue or erase your progress and start over? I'm satisfied.
The year is 431. and Kairos' invasion has shattered all major opposition in the tiers. The Younger Realms, the Bastard Tier, the Free Cities. All who defied Kairos lay broken by battle, or bowed in surrender. The two armies of the Overlord, the Disfavored and the Scarlet Chorus, now control our lands. But our will is not yet extinguished. Not entirely. In the Valley of Vendrian's Well, those of us unwilling to bow to Kairos have banded together in defiance. Violating an oath of surrender from 2 years prior, we have staged a bloody uprising, murdering the Disfavored and Scarlet Chorus garrison in a midnight assault.
Well, shit.
With their main forces spread across the tiers, the Disfavored and Scarlet Chorus redeploy to Vendrian's Well to crush the resistance. But months pass with no definitive battle. As disagreement and discord paralyze the Archons, we bide our time and wait for our message of insurrection to spread across the tiers. The Overlord is not amused, and Kairos has one message for the Archons: crush the Oathbreakers or die. Kairos backs this threat with an edict, a magical commandment that can slay all in the valley should the order be ignored. The honor of proclaiming this edict fell to you.
What?
Sent across the mountains to Vendrian's Well, you carry the Overlord's edict to read before the Archons. As you finally make your way through the winding mountain passes into the valley, the ground trembles, and Kairos' magic seals the way behind you. You are trapped in Vendrian's Well, with Kairos' armies and the Oathbreakers. The only way to survive is to fulfill the terms of the Overlord's edict, in any way that you can.
Fatebinder Rivan, I presume. We've been expecting you. Aurora? Is this your first visit to the Wild Tyranny? Watch these windows to help you become familiar with the game. You can disable the... Okay. Aurora. Female, okay. Carlos the Overlord be praised. When I heard the avalanche, man, what voice do I give you? Carlos the Overlord be praised. When I heard the avalanche, I feared the valley was sealed with you on the other side. The disfavored warrior claps her gauntlet to her breastplate, the traditional salute of her legion. Conversations involve you and another character, and sometimes additional parties like bystanders or companions who may interject. The choices you make change how the story is developed and how you will build a reputation for your character over time. People in the world will learn of your reputation, good and bad, and respond accordingly. Your character's attributes, skills, history, and gender, as well as decisions you make in the conquest, may open up all options for you in dialogue. These options are not necessarily superior to the other responses, but give you a wider variety of choices to select from. The manner in which someone responds to your choices depends on their individual personality and attitude. Each character who speaks to you will display a banner beneath their portrait. These banners indicate which faction the character is allied with. The tooltip on the banners will provide details about how the faction feels about you. Your character will often see the name of important characters and locations displayed in a gold text color. The tooltips of these glossary entries provide you with important information about the world. Thank you. The commander wouldn't say why the governor of Lethian's Crossing would be coming, but since we have no forges here, I'd imagine you're here to knock some sense into the voices of Nerat. She catches herself, clearing her throat with a smile. I mean, mediate with the Archon so that we might agree on a plan to wipe out these Oathbreakers. In honor of the Vengeance, Renegade surrender out the 429. So just both this favor and offer these Tearsmen and Oathbreakers. Ah, gotcha. Yeah. But on a personal note, it is good to see another Harbinger. Harbinger? Conquest decision. Barely 10,000 disfavored is part of the Northern Empire to conquer the tiers, and the disfavored in country today were part of that original muster. While the Scarlet Chorus faces come and go, you've seen a lot of the same disfavored over the years. This is Aurora, Stone and Shield of the second cohort, veteran of the original Vendrian's Well campaign. 2 years prior, you saw the battle with her and her team in the infiltration of the tiers that occurred weeks before the major opening battle at the Gates of Judgment. Those who took part in the daring pre-war raids refer to each other affectionately as Harbingers. Okay. But on a personal note, it is good to see another Harbinger. By Kaidos' will, most of our old invasion force still lives, but most of us have been scattered across the tiers, reassigned as needs change. I miss those days. When there was so much battle ahead of us, so much glory still to be won. But I know the Archons is expecting you. Don't let me wax nostalgically about the old days. Claire silently, I'm in a hurry to deliver a message to the Archons. Can you hear the hum in the air? That glow on the rocks? The avalanche's Kairos is magic. The old Lord has sealed the valley. Oh, sick. Oh, neat. Favored tier 1. Oh, neat. Your senses are more than mine. See more than mine, good Fatefinder. I do not pretend to know much about such things, but if that was Kairos' magic, and you're here on important business, well, you don't have to be the Archon of Secrets. Yes, that you're here to proclaim an edict. What does Kairos have in store for the enemy? 10 years of festering plague, and an edict of twisted bones? Well, I am in a hurry to deliver a message to the Archons. Well, you traveled a long way. I won't keep you any further. I'm sure that the Archons will want to hear from you. At her voice fell silent, her attention staffing eastward with a wire. Did you hear that? More on us. Third time this week. The Oathbreakers keep trying to send messages to the mountains to gather help from the outside of the valley. She points over to the collapse path by which she arrived. But they are a bit too late for that now. Come, let's show these Oathbreakers a good fight. For the glory of Kairos. Oh. Okay, how do I fight? Thrust. What weapon do I... Stealth toggle. Select all party members. Formations. Camping supplies. Camping supplies. Do I have my... What the fuck do I have? Oh my god, where's the tutorial? Of phalanx? Okay, that's equipped. The fuck is a phalanx? Oh, that's the edict. So it's really easy to or more sigils. Cross sigils depends on the Determines the type of magic, such as fire, frost, illusion. The expression such as determines how that core sheets itself to the world, such as ball of fire, frost, enchanting a weapon. There are several categories of sigils that can accent a spell, granting it greater range accuracy and providing a bonus of secondary effects. Create beginning sigil, select the core sigil for the okay. That you want to form, for example, you want to create a sigil flame as core, followed by the sigil of directed force, determine its shape. Okay, each sigil is certain amount of lore skill to learn and control. The characters must have lore skill at least equal to the spell's total difficulty in order to learn the cast a spell. Is that my current skill, or is it the requirement? Assign spells. Okay. Searing Palm. You can customize your spells by selecting different icons. Huh. Neat. Okay. Frozen Grasp. Searing Pattern. Am I using my bow or am I not? Heart shot.
Right.
Oh, now it's telling me. Tyranny uses a pausable real-time combat system. Because you will often manage more than one character at a time, it's a good idea to pause the game, issue orders, and resume real-time to see the orders play out. The options menu also contains many choices for automatic pausing when certain conditions are met. E.g. start combat, press spot. Okay. Your character can always perform basic attacks using their equipped weapon or their fist if fighting unarmed. The characters also have special abilities and spells they can use in combat when the character is selected. Their ability bar displays their hotkeys abilities. As new abilities and spells are gained, they are automatically added to the ability bar. All your characters and spells can be accessed by selecting an icon at the bottom. Okay. Yes, selected frame, group of talents, combo abilities, artifact abilities, reputation abilities, stances, category icons, weapon sets. Okay. Weapon sets will follow. Okay. To use an ability, left click on it. Left click on the ability icon. Or press a hotkey to respond to the location of the ability bar. Your cursor will change to indicate whether your mouse will hover to a valid target of the ability of the cursor. So red X in the corner, you run. Wait. If the cursor has a red X in the corner, you are not over a valid target. If the cursor has a pair of feet in the corner, you will need to move close to the target. The ability. The target party members can click on the body portraits to target the ability. Okay. Combat. For the foe. There, endurance of will. Yes, I've known that. Okay.
I got it. Will do. On it.
That's one down. Let's check further along the path and check for more talent points. There's 6 categories of talents available: leadership, defense, violent range, and each level you can purchase a talent from each of these categories. See button. Okay. Whetstone. Stealth.
On the lookout.
The avalanche is blocked. Think you can fit through the rubble? Gonna stealth. That's screws myself.
Trouble is afoot.
That's an enemy. Oh boy. Why is that really 42%? What about Searing Palm? Why is it so low?
On it. Take that! Sorry, I can't. I got it. Will do. Right. On it.
Oh, dude. No, stay back, stay back.
Can't do that.
What?
Right.
Sun Soldier's Javelin. Okay. Yoink. That's a disfavored soldier, I'm pretty sure. Oh, stealth mode.
On the lookout.
I don't know how good stealth is in this game, but who knows? And besides, I'm on my own, so stealthing is a good option. Walking Death. Will revive when defeated. Okay. Wait, I can inspect the bodies. Several skulls bleached in the sun and picked clean by carrion birds are spiked roughly on the spiked roughly on a roughly hewn post. It is, god damn it, it is only heraldry the Scarlet Chorus needs. Okay, so that's probably I guess that's a Scarlet Chorus thing. Just gonna sneak my way through here. Where are the enemy?
Try and catch me, worm.
A young Scarlet Fury. The elite fighters of the Scarlet Chorus, distinguished by their graceful attacks and murderous persistence, better armed and trained than most Chorus conscripts. The Furies are found amongst the vanguard of battle. The brutal displays of skill in fighting bloodlust and masses and fear in the enemy. Weaves A young Scarlet Fury weaves around in the Vendrian Guard attackers, avoiding their weapons with fluid grace. She nods to acknowledge you. Haha, I don't think they like me. Sun Soldier. A breathless enemy soldier passes a glance to her countrymen. This one's crazy. This one's crazy. Wait, is this a female or? Oh yeah, female. This one's crazy. Too much lead in our water. We should cut our losses and turn back.
Ha! Fate Finder. Here at last. Here to join me in putting these cowards out of their misery?
That depends. Where are you?
Are you serious? I came to escort you to camp when... Damn it! Kill first, questions later.
Sounds like you could use my help. You could use my help.
Lily, but I'd welcome an extra blade.
Gain fear. What? For the realms of Apex, charge! The Vendrian Guard levels their weapons in advance. Okay, so I'm guessing the Sun Soldiers are our enemies. Oh. I have control over her. Once per encounter, coordinate with rest enough to target run, then follow with a strong bleeding attack. Holy shit, burning iron. Launch a burning arrow that sets foes on fire. It's the target. Is she dual wielding? Yeah, probably. Rivan. It's a combo ability. Oh, sick.
I got it.
You got it.
Wait, no. Wrong guy. Wrong person. Wrong portrait. Okay, no.
Pity you won't enjoy this as much as I do.
Damn, she's not doing well. Scarlet Poison.
Fall before me!
On it.
Held his favorite battle in the... Oh.
I can tell you didn't spend the conquest in a diplomat's tent.
The fighter surveys the fresh corpses and nods with satisfaction. Wait, she's got my banner. Oh. Wait, I thought you were with the Scarlet Chorus. Okay then.
I'm Verse, by the way. But there are more important things to take care of than introductions. Those Vendrian Guard we killed didn't come alone.
She gestures at the skirmish unfolding the pass below, shaking her head. You fight like a storm. What's your role in the army?
A Scarlet Fury, one of the elite killers of our ignoble gang. You'll see more than a few of us around camp, but don't let that fool you. We're a rare breed. Most of the soldiers in the Scarlet Chorus are little more than farmers and children armed with rusted forks. Makes them easier to control. The voices of Nerat called his best fighters to this siege. There must be something important about Vendrian's well, though don't ask me what. The Archon isn't in the habit of spilling secrets.
And why are the Vendrian Guard attacking now?
My guess? The Vendrian Guard are testing our strength in battle, learning how we perform before they organize a real offensive. That, or they're really, really desperate to get beyond the mountains and couldn't wait until nightfall.
Well, what's your purpose here?
The voices of Nerat told me to intercept you at Edgering Ruins before you busied yourself solving all of the camp's problems. Guess I was too late. You're due for a meeting with the Archons, but we should handle the small matter of this ambush first.
Very well. I'm ready when you are.
Eager. I like that. Before we go, you might search among the remains of our fallen comrades. Wherever they're bound, I doubt they'll miss their boots, much less any rings or any useful iron they might be clutching.
I see your point. Nice and practical.
No reason to pity the fallen. Before long, we might wish we'd joined them here. But at least we'll enjoy heavy pockets and warm toes. For the voices of Nerat!
First furrows her brow and focuses down on the battle to come. Scarlet Fury helmet. Or potions, what's this? I do not have enough lore. Shit. Hide. Yoink.
On the lookout.
What's your stealth? Dodge, parry. I don't think you have good subterfuge. Well then. Let's keep going. Oh, what do I have here? It's a ruin. I'll worry about that shit later. Uh-oh. Eyes forward, no looking back. No, I'll give him a different accent. Eyes forward, no looking back. The Vendrian God warrior wars with his falx. Symbol of military life and adapted from the Agrarian sites of Ashura. This is current blade scene. He just passed the weapon and peasants forced into battle in the last century. The nobles of Apex took a liking to the weapon, and it has since become a weapon in all serious Vendrian warriors endeavor to the master. Held high, his words were largely lost over to the din of combat. Stand aside, or your funeral will be all over the side of this bluff. Seeing you squarely in his path, the soldier points his weapon your way. I applaud your bravery, but I implore you to end this foolishness and lay down your arms. Not a chance. If I surrender, I'm good as dead. At least we can drag out some of Tyrus's chosen along our short journey to the void. As he signals his men to charge, the sound of chanting rises from the south, drawing his attention. Scarlet Chorus reinforcements! Hurry! Run down the Oathbreakers! Let none escape! From the red mob of the reinforcements from the south, a blood chanter emerges from the head of the rabble. The ornament rests of her staff pulsating with crimson tones, signaling the deciding sigils of magic, and wordlessly move her mouth. The blood chanter scribes a series of spells into the air. A red glow surrounds the Vendrian Guard. Warriors and they chant magic worms their way into their minds, blinding them with rage. Hold position, all of you. You there, keep to the path. The warrior gestures along the canyon trail, but his soldiers turn their attention to the Scarlet Chorus, roaring challenges. No, don't engage them. We need to run. His orders falling on deaf ears, the warrior reluctantly readies his weapon. What the fuck is that? Verse, get in there! Meanwhile, hard shot. You.
Right.
Ow. Uh-oh. Well, now's a good time as any to cast magic.
Will do.
Holy shit, I took so much damage. Combo abilities, okay,
Damn thing couldn't pierce cloth.
uh-oh. Actually, go for the heal. Holy shit, the finesse is so fast. I probably should have invested in finesse now that I think about it. Something to note.
Bleed out, you little shit.
Companions. The companion versus joined your party. Versus evil warriors, skilled in both melee and ranged combat. As you acquire companions, you will need to balance the strengths against the strengths of your character to be successful in combat. While it is possible to adventure alone, you'll find the game rewarding with a well-balanced party. There are now 2 characters in your party, and both are selected. Any commands you issue now will affect both party members. To select a single party member, click on the selection circle within their portrait, or press F1 to select the player character, F2 to select verse. To select multiple party members, click and hold the screen and drag the marker over the circle to the party you'd like to include. You can control your new companion directly or have their AI have them attack and use their abilities automatically. Once the AI is enabled, you can always select them and tell them to attack a specific enemy or use an ability. They will always follow your orders. If you right click on the AI button, you can see the AI settings for your party members. You can set an auto attack behavior for each character, which determines how they attack enemies. For companions, you can also choose AI packages to determine how they will use their abilities in combat. First is several stance abilities that provide us different benefits in combat. Stances such are modal abilities, meaning they can be toggled on and off. Only one stance can be active at a time. When the stance is deactivated, all stance abilities are either cooldown or short duration. Come quick, we have a situation on the cliffside. They have the commander. Horde boots. Rusted iron sword. party. Passive, defend myself. Aggressive. Save. Yep. Anyway.
I got it.
Why is she not following me? Oh my god, I have to highlight both of them? Oh boy. Okay. Okay. Let's get a fucking move on. This is gonna take some getting used to. Heavy bronze gauntlets. Gauge. Should probably take a look see at my inventory. Okay. That's a javelin. No. Kuzma. What are you doing? You'll draw attention to me. Okay. Oh. Symbol of the Scarlet Chorus is smeared in blood of the shadow cloth and hand of the has been made to repair the keeping test. The Chorus ordered the Archon of the distant Rivan erased from memory for the used as the Captain's Scripture iconography. Admiring the disfavored sigil, I know a thing or two about that. Okay. Let's keep moving. Oh. Hello. Oh, that guy's got a hostage. Store your weapons, or we find out how long a man screams before hitting the ravine down below. Cornered between a precipitous drop and a band of angry soldiers, the Oathbreaker warrior holds a disfavored soldier at knife. A disfavored officer at knife point. Skewer him. Worry not for me. Gravanash will protect. The disfavored officer winces, blood seeping from the seams of his bracers and cuirass. You are the man. He plainly invited you to use that little blade of yours. What are you waiting for? Permission from your pimp? displayed. With a jerk of the knife, he slices a clump off Drastus's matted hair. If you're so eager to let your ally dead, just step closer. I lack the athletics. Well, you heard Drastus. Let him die. Oops. You're getting favor with this. Yes, let's see. Rivan Ash. Protect him. Yep. Tyrell dashes the blade across Drastus' throat, dashes out from the commander's neck, drowning out his final words. Tyrell points the bloody knife towards you. Death to Kalos! Death to the Archons! Yeah. The moment Drastus' body falls to the ground, the disfavored soldiers pounce forward, quickly reducing the old breaker to a bloody mess. Drastus' death would be a setback. He was a fine steward of the steadfast. Aurora swallows her lips pursed in anger. But for the losses we've sustained in this war, I'm next in command. I aspire to be half the leader Drastus was. When the soldiers found some meat splatter on the oath breakers, Aurora holds up a rolled sheath of parchment. I figured that you being trained in letters would perhaps. Aurora looks down at the papers, her face blushing quickly. Thrusts the sheath towards you. Literacy is rare in the Northern Empire, where the disfavored are born and trained. Time spent reading and writing, is time not spent sparring and readying one's body and mind for battle. Alright. Repeating the same message written in different scripts, the parchment explained the Vendrian gods' desire to overthrow Kairos' Archons and rout out the armies from the tiers. The pages aren't addressed to any specific reader, but rather openly invites all who remain loyal to the younger realms to gather at the Vendrian's well. Recruitment material. They're trying to bring more traitors to the fight. There were likely other groups trying to flee the valley, but we can't rest knowing we stopped this group. A shame that it's such a high cost. The Archons are expecting you at the disfavored war camp when you're... Oh wait, when you're ready to leave, exit by the southeast gate. And keep going that way through the foothills. It's a two-handed weapon. Quickness. Ooh. Grain. Straw. I guess I could just slap that on here. I don't think I can use the other one though. I'll put that on me because I'll need that quickness. Pierce. Haste. What's your skills? 200 weapons, athletics, subterfuge, parry, lore. Okay, so you're good at dual wielding. It's quite evident from that. Alright. Just been spine bow. Wait. How good is your bow against mine? 10 to 13 pierce. I think that's 10 to 11 to 14. That's slightly better accuracy. What the fuck? Your bow's better than mine. Yo, what the fuck? Your bow's better than mine. Yeah, your bow's better than mine. What the fuck? Yes. Yeah, you'll be attacking more in melee than me. Dialogue option. Hello. Couldn't help but notice how you... couldn't help but notice how you were eyeballing this favorite symbol literature about the camp. It's hardly a symbol, just a scroll. That's true, but it used to be the pride of the Graven Ashes Legion before Kairos made them deface it. What happened? Word has it that Ash has been under more scrutiny than other Archons, seeing as he took a stand against Kairos from the past. Before he bent into Kairos, Draven rallied his legions against the Overlord's authority. His powers on the battlefield ingratiated him to the Archons who welcomed him into their ranks in exchange for his obedience. Even though he bent a knee in the end, that doesn't place him above suspicion. Kairos and the other Archons keep him on a tight leash. Ash's troops impressed the growing empire, but Kairos made him sacrifice everything that they were up to at this point. Ash surrendered. They've been disfavored ever since, and fighting to earn back their honor. I guess that's why you don't cross the Overlord. Kairos holds a grudge with a mean, jealous streak. I have other questions. Go on then. First
What do you need?
Oh. I aspire for the voices of Narat. First regards you with an unreadable expression. Her mismatched eyes look at each of yours in return. Insufficient reputation. Shit. I mean, does it even matter? You have to decide for yourself whether or not I'm not one worth trusting. Is keeping me along worth the risk, and I'll spill the occasional word about what you ate for breakfast. The voices in Narat is the Archon of Secrets, not the Archon of Honesty or fair dealings. If you don't assume that everyone already reports them, you're not being careful enough about yourself. Careful enough. Tell me about yourself.
If you insist. I'm a Scarlet Fury. That should raise some flags for you. It means that I'm good at killing, and more importantly, that I enjoy it. What I won't enjoy are the pleasures of funerary rites packed with weeping mourners. Someday I'll fall in battle, and then they'll roll me into a mass grave or heap me atop a shit-stained wagon. One more anonymous, knife-riddled piece of meat. Until then, I plan to take whatever I can from life and have a little fun along the way.
What was your life before the chorus? Life? What life? As far as I'm concerned, I didn't exist before the chorus. There was some girl in a farm wearing my face and talking with my voice, but she wasn't me. Sometimes she would sneak out at night, take a scythe, and have some fun with the livestock. Our shared interest began and ended there. When the Scarlet Chorus swept through my village on their long trek from the bastard city, that was when I finally woke up, buried my old life, and took a red vengeance on anyone who'd wronged me, and found the freedom I could only dream was out there. What of your parents? My mother ran a successful farm, and I worked it for a number of years before I found the chorus. She was hard, bitter woman, acted like the world owed her for something. She never really talked about my father, though I figured out a thing or two about him later on. He was a merchant from the Northern Empire who took a liking to her, and she him. Him. I don't know what that means. He stayed around only long enough to get what he wanted. But never mind him. My mother never had what you'd call taste, so he couldn't have been terribly influential to me if he stuck around. How did you get conscripted? Oh, no. Oh, what? I did not mean to click on that. That's a naive question I've ever heard. Chaos is everywhere. If you aren't on the Overlord's army, you're being trampled by it. Of course, I could have labored on the family farm until my mature years, married some dolt and littered him in a nursery of squealing piglets. Having my body torn to pieces by smaller versions of me sounds like fun. Then one day I decided enough was enough. I slit my husband's throat over breakfast and ran off to join the chorus anyway. My way saved. A lot of time there. First smooths back the feathers in her hair and shakes her head with a smile. Well, you are a killer. Better stick to the chorus. At least you understand. The chorus praises and rewards the thing inside me that I would suppress in civilized company. Life is too short to repress every desire, right? Especially if I had anything to say about it. How did you get conscripted? What the? God damn it. 3. How did I think you have the wrong idea about me. The chorus didn't take me as a sobbing maid. I strode into their camp and enlisted. Someone tossed me a dented blade. I lived through initiation, spent a week butchering my neighbors, and moved on with my new kin. I didn't waste time with goodbyes. My mother had long since died, and the rest of my family were louses. The girl I used to be, even she knew that she was worth more than all of them combined. What's the significance of your feathers? Oh, I don't tell that story to just anyone. You have to butter me out before I get into the really intimate details. Very well. Tell me about your time with the Scarlet Chorus.
The Scarlet Chorus is mostly for madmen and peasants with rusty daggers, but it's also a little niche of freedom that I never had. Once I survived training and met my Scarlet Fury sisters, I saw a different side of the Howling Mob.
Tell me about your training.
For new recruits shoved to the front lines, training means surviving the first battle. Anything beyond that is for the fighters who show potential, whether as blade dancers or arcane madmen. There's nothing in the world like getting put through the paces as a Scarlet Fury. Every day is a test of your commitment and passion. Failure means death. The first few weeks were the hardest, but also the most rewarding. I earned my name, picked up some quality weapons, and met my sisters.
You earned your name? If you think a simple farmer from the Tears would name her child first, I suggest you visit my old village. Most of them were walking around with surnames like Barrel or Fish. Not the most creative bunch. She smirks and shakes her head. The chorus takes your name away. Whoever you were before, you aren't that person anymore. Then you earn back their name through great deeds. Usually murderous ones. That's why you see corpsmen walking around with names like Stinkhouse or Face Burst. That's probably a good reason for it. The voices are Narod gave me this name. When the Scarlet Chorus runs howling into battle, he doesn't hear war, he hears symphony, and when I fight with a blade or bow, he told me that my music stands out louder than anyone else's, and contains too many parts to be easily defined. When you least suspect it, the Archon of Secrets can be downright charming. So then what's your real name? That question isn't worthy of either of us, but I'll entertain it out of pity. Oh shit, I gained fear 1. Uh-oh. You already know me by my real name. It's Verse. Looking for whatever arbitrary collection of letters and sounds my mother thought was appropriate when she didn't know me. You're out of luck. I buried that name long ago. Long by my standards anyway. Tell me about your weapon skills. When I was just a kid, it didn't take me long to realize I was a natural. I could pick up a rusty kicker knife and skewer a rat from across the room. Scarlet Chorus gave me opportunities to further educate myself. My sister sorority had been surprised by how quickly I took to different fighting styles. She frowns for a moment and then shakes off whatever she wanted to say. Back to my questions about the Scarlet Chorus.
What do you need to know?
Who were your sisters? Who were they? Would be more important. 3 Whispers, Red Geyser, and Seeking Sheath. Best fighters I've ever met. There wasn't a foe we couldn't take down together. Our fighting styles complemented perfectly, so we divided up the killing work like bards sharing a song. At least we used to. She presents a solemn salute. The 3 Whispers. She was calm as the surface of the pond and light on her feet. More like than one foe tripped and fell on their own blade due to Whisper's crafty footwork. First lets her gaze slip away from you as the fleeting moment of sorrow steals their attention. Who was Red Geyser? A one-woman siegebreaker. She would launch herself at her foes like a battering ram. Not even her disfavored failings could have withstood that dumb, suicidal wench. Taurus's eyes, but she was something to behold. First slams her fist into her palm. Tell me about the Seeking Sheath. That girl could pass a spear through the 12 rings from the far side of a battlefield. Taurus help any foes who approach her in a marching single-file line. She made a game of splitting as many soldiers as possible on the same javelin. What happened to them? We were scouting around Vendrian's well during the siege, back when we only suspected the god of organizing in secret. My sisters and I came upon a group of them, or Tyrus knows. Maybe they found us. No one said anything. We drew iron and bronze. And that was when everything went wrong. I was supposed to take point and occupy the guard with the dance of blade work. Something disorienting while my sisters picked their marks. I hesitated. I lost my nerve. Instead of rushing the Oathbreakers, I froze with my weapon drawn. My sisters fought on without me, but they were off balance, like whatever I had was catching. They died, I lived. My sisters were relying on me to lead the dance, and I failed them. It's understandable. Caution stayed your hand. Caution? Save your caution for the disfavored. If we showed caution, we would have taken the bastard city or the gates. Could we have taken the bastard city or the gates of judgment? Could we have conquered the tears of anything less than our blood boiling over with rage, the song of battle ripping from our lungs? Hesitation is a rot. It's unbecoming of any chorus member, and unheard of in Scarlet Fury. I would cut it up from my body and cauterize the wound if I only knew its source. She grimaces once more and then turns inward, contemplating. Well, shit. Any thoughts on the topic, or are you here to open old wounds?
What do you need to know?
Who are the chorus leaders? Well, the voices of Narad is the spider at the center of the web. He acts like the army belongs to him, and he only lends it to Kairos because it suits his purposes, both of which are true. The rest are all offshoots of the voices, like the Fifth Eye. Once you get down to the rank and file, the Scarlet Chorus organized around a motley bunch of gang bosses who call the shots. What else do you want to know? Tell me about the voices of Narot. He's a madman, but that never stopped me from following his orders. Even in a legion as cutthroat as the chorus, you know better than to get on the voice's bad side. People who cross him are just the people he meets, don't tend to survive the experience. If he ever seems disorganized or lost, it's because he's channeling one of his personalities he's devoured over the years. His mannerisms shift over to someone else's, someone who's probably long since dead. Better to die than become part of the voices. So what makes him so powerful? He's the Archon of Secrets, and he didn't earn that title lightly. People say that he knows more than every sage in the tiers combined. So his souls of magic and tears is still living in his venerable institution divide. Okay, so they're just people that work in the Citadel. And that he can think 1,000 steps ahead of the other Archons. I'll be putting it lightly to say that he's never alone under that disproving helmet of his. If you make secrets your business, I guess having people constantly whisper in your ear is a good thing. I usually want people to shut up, but to each of their own. Tell me about the fifth eye. A walking nightmare, that one. I couldn't begin to guess who lives under that armor and speaks with that reedy voice, but I'll tell you what I know. When your world is built on secrets, it pays to have a few extra eyes. The voices of Narot has eyes in abundance. Some that he keeps close, and others that he sends out in the wilderness. For that Phil I was before he came to the Archon's service, he's just a half mad jarring speech hole, a bodily function. In other words, an eye. And how many eyes does this Archon of Secrets have? The number's changing, either because it grows or because rumors don't mean shit. 3, 7, 19, so you can say that all of us are eyes and we don't even know it. She shakes her head in thoughtful disapproval. It's one of those questions that drives you mad if you allow yourself to think about it for too long. Hey, you could be one of Tunin's eyes, but you never thought of that. Alright, back to the leaders. What about the gang bosses? The boss is anyone who can rally support to kill the previous boss. They cling to command until someone gets wise and stabs them in the back. Tipcat leads the filthy lambs. Locke leads the rusted harps. Sharp used to lead the Bone Boys. Couldn't see where they ended up after they broke his legs. The water wheel orders around the hairy hunters. Halls for shit leads the lazy Malkins. Then the scurvy queen, finger food, and wild gash collectively lead the ladies of perpetual strangulation. I've raided at least a dozen more. I've even led a gang or two in my day. They never survive very long, so no point getting attached. You led a gang? You're a nice surprise. I can crack a whip better than any of those daisies in the disfavored labor camps. But I was never that interested in the power struggle. Of those grunts and scabs in the middle, I wanted to stand on top of the hill like an apex predator. Here I am. So when I got tired of the gang, I disbanded and let the other bosses fight over the new recruits. That much amused me, at least. Some of my old mates are still alive and hanging around wherever they ended up. Well, farewell for now.
Just point me in the right direction.
Can't do that.
Archon demands all prisoners be given a chance to serve the chorus. We will return to the north in triumph. I think my boss can take another month of siege. I bet I could scale the Citadel walls. You see a very old, broken section of the wall. There's a rope hanging down that's been recently used to scale it. My athletics is a bit short at the moment. Alright, you have a talent tree? Hmm. Fury's Rage. Project intense flames towards Verse, which catches on a blaze and spins in aura wreathing flames around her. Nearby foes take a burn damage from the flames while they last. Archon, Rivan Ash. What the fuck? The once pure water of the green liquor stasis run where the blood since the forces have invaded. Where the fuck do I go now?
Sorry, I can't.
That's the open and close the map. Weapons and armor stacked neatly in position. Okay.
Can't do that. Sorry, I can't.
Don't you go pull through the night. Gavinash protects. Climb down. Yep. What? Okay, examine the torque. Torque possesses a number of small grooves, otherwise it appears faintly ordinary. I am so short in terms of lore, what the fuck? How the where's my lore? 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 Ah, there it is.
Sorry, I can't.
Not sure where we're supposed to go now. I think we're supposed to talk to some guy in the camp. Glory to the voices. Ah, there you are. Fade Binder, it is a pleasure to have you join us. You would never really know if one of Chunlin's officers is battled, ready until the fighting breaks out. She nods with approval. Oh, wait, that's a female. She nods with approval. You can clearly hold your own in a fight. A broad-shouldered favorite soldier snaps the salute, and thank Kairos for that. There's been too much talk of late, and not enough action. The Archon of War is planning his next move. Would you have him hasten his plans for your impatience? The superior officer glowers through the gap in her helm. Never, ma'am. Graven Ash protects. He also salutes in a tightly clenched fist. I'm just eager to see the Vendrian guard buried under their own patched defenses. Need something? Why hasn't the siege been resolved? It's because the Scarlet Chorus scoff at the great general's plans, and they aren't carrying their weight. They should be using their great numbers to patrol and harass the enemy, if you ask me. I think they're intentionally going easy on the Oathbreakers. She grinds her fist into her palm. Even if they listen to us, are they even capable of following orders? The Scarlet Chorus doesn't have a chain of command. They're just a rabble of gang bosses cutting out each other's throats for advancement, pissing on the disfavored like a badge of honor. Don't mind me saying, if you don't mind me saying so. Tell me about the disfavored. We are the proud elite of Kairos' military strength, selected from the finest northern stock and hammered against the anvil of war. If you want to put that into perspective, the disfavored are a sword forged with care, then polished and sharpened to perfection. She clears her throat. The Scarlet Chorus are more of a rusty pitchfork dredged out of a swamp, effective in large numbers but easily outclashed. Well, Raven Ash protects indeed. What have you survived? In my early days, I broke from my failings and ran at the enemy, received the spirit in my guts for my efforts. If they took better than part of the afternoon for the Archon's protection, and to patch me up. Learned a valuable lesson too. When I was at a show, I caught my hammer blow to the side of my head. All I remember was a ringing sound and feeling my skull shatter from my jawline to ear to top. I woke up hours later. The medic says there's a piece of my helmet lodged in my brain. She draws herself up. My badge, my reminder. We owe it all to the great general. He gives us the strength to fight where others would flee and stand when others would fall. What a pile of dung. They're right about one thing. The spirit of too many blows to the head. She stops and crosses her arms. I'll keep talking to these soldiers. Suit yourself. As you were. Rivan protects. Soldier snaps through an impassioned salute. As you were. What's my quest? The old remains of the Edgering Fort. Fort as the crescent runners were getting. Yeah, with the speed of the situation, the victory got attacked. Help Taras tonight fight forces back to the rebel fort. So you help Taras forces defend the Edgering ruins, champ from a rebel attack, saving Commander Drast. Saving Commander Drastus in the process? I thought he died. Did he die? Took a spear to the side, but even I can't even feel it. I'll teach these Oathbreakers a lesson. The fuck do I go? Where do I go? Wait, huh? How did I? I gotta learn how I train up my skills. How do I already have that? Alright, climb up the rope.
Found something.
What do we have here? Potion of invisibility. Okay. Where the fuck do I go? Oh, that's cool. Where the fuck do I go? There we go. Taras demands victory at the Vendrian's Well. As a Fatebinder Tunin, you are tasked with delivering a Taras edict to the Archons of the Disfavored and the Scarlet Chorus. You must defeat the rebellious Vendrian guards soon, or else everyone in the valley, allies and enemies alike, will die. Travel to the Disfavored camp, make your way to the southeast through the Edgering Fort. and travel to the savior camp where Graven Ash and the voices of Narat are meeting to discuss strategy. Southeast of camp. Got it. If I can fucking go there, I don't know where.
Can't do that.
Where the fuck do I go? It's supposed to be southeast. Somewhere. Oh. I didn't see that. I should not have accepted Vendrian surrender. Well, let's get moving, shall we? To the disfavored camp. This will take you 3 hours and 30 minutes to complete your journey to the Adrian ruins. From the Adrian ruins to the disfavored camp. Except, let's get a move on. It's gonna take a little bit of time to get used to, but anyway. There you go. Take what you're carrying, but leave your cart. Otherwise, we'll seize you and your wares. This is robbery. Crescent Runner. Hail, Fatefinder. This favorite scout nods at your approach. Camp's on up ahead. Don't mind us. We're just clearing out the rabble. I still don't understand what I've done to offend. I respect that these are now disfavored lands, and I'm happy to give the Legion a proper toll, but she's going about trading rights. What nonsense is that? Am I not allowed to trade one thing for another? It's not like I'm selling weapons to angry peasants or anything of the sort. You're on disfavored land. These warriors have every right to kill you. The Overlord regulates all trade. If you lack the proper permits, your good is forfeit. A trade permit? But how is I mean, to whom would I speak for such a thing? Not us and not our problem. Maybe march your butt to the bastard city and plead your case to the tomb before tuning. But we'll lighten your burden and relieve you of your wares first, that you should make a long trek to be a bit more bearable. Well, you are on disfavored land, and these warriors have every right to kill you. Should be more thankful they're even listening. They're even listening to you speak. But I'm only here to peddle my wares. I mean no harm. The major takes a step back, his eyes scanning the soldiers for signs of movement. And if you think I'm a threat to this favorite cat, then you seriously have overestimated me. Please, how do I make this right? From the sound of it, I feel like I'm about to be robbed. You're not the only one. I'm being robbed of patience as we speak. We should move on, Fatebinder. Petty disputes are beneath us both. Robbed? No, you fool. You're being granted a life after trespassing on our lands, all for a simple price of what's in your cart. Not our fault if you don't have permits in order. I don't write the rules. I just ruthlessly enforce them. Please. The merchant lurches towards you, its eyes wide with desperation. Can you do something? This is none of my concern. Carry on. Right you are. We'll take care of this vulture. The Crescent Runner nods to you with a knowing smile. A tier 1. Yeah, Rivan ain't gonna bother with that, cause, again, he's looking out for himself. He knows better than to turn against others.
I got it.
Slow down a moment. I know we're both eager to watch the Archons bicker over tactics like a pair of magpies, but I need to ask you something first. What's that? The voices of Nara told me you'd come as a mediator. Concerning the source, well, I can't help but feel I'm only hearing half the story. So let's have at it. Let's have it out. What's so special about you? Did the voices of Nara ask you to spy on me? At a loss for words, Verse regards you with a momentary unease. Well, are you even surprised? He's the Archon of Secrets. Knowing in advance is his business, so to snatch up any other advantage over Rivan Ash. Those two compete like a couple of new recruits for a spot around the fire. It's nothing nefarious. The voice is just curious to why you're here. If you wanted to know more, you wouldn't be able to suss it out here that easily. You're gonna send one of his scary peons in my stead. I'm actually tallying up the expense of the siege. Is that all? I can understand why Tunin would worry himself over resources, but we have the riches of the Northern Empire backing his conquest, not to mention the plunder of tears. If you say that's the case, I'll go along with it. Verse frowns to herself, but doesn't press the matter. What else has the voices of Nara told you? Only that I could find you in the Edgery ruins. Truthfully, I could have picked you out in a crowd. You're the only one of us who hasn't spent the last few months bathing in the stink of the Matani River. She laughs, but there's a forced nature to it. Why so suspicious? Just a feeling I got. When the Archons are together, the air gets taut as a bowstring. I can't help but think there's no amount of compromise will get them seeing eye to eye. So why invite a mediator from the Tunin's court? It doesn't add up. Well, why do you think the Archons are at odds? I've been with the Scarlet Chorus ever since the early days of conquest, so I can say it's been a building for a few years now. There's energy about those two, like a pairs of stones ready to collide. I heard that Rivan Ash and the voices of Durag shared some bad blood in the Northern Empire, but I don't know any of the particulars. That's absurd. If the Archons can't push past behind them, they're unfit to command. Quick to anger, are we? I'm not disagreeing with you, but I would take care where you speak your mind. Someone is always eager to report slander to their favorite Archon. Enough of, with all the power they wield, those types are not quick to forgive. Enough of this. And you must speak for the Archons. Hey, don't let me hold you back. I'm sure whatever you're here to do is important enough that you don't need me to be stepping on your path. The war tent is just past the center of the camp. One last thing. Be careful around these disfavored types. They take their work seriously, and most have suffered too many blows to the head. Anyway. Actually, we should probably... What do we have here? Step closer and present yourself. The gate guard holds up a warning hand. Go no farther. You approach the disfavored ground. State your business. My name is Rivan, Fatebinder of Tunin. I bring words from Kairos. Words for your commander's ears. Ah, so you're the Firestarter. In 432, the final year of the conquest, the siege of... Ah. Yeah. Okay. Sivius and the companies returning from the burning library are telling some harrowing stories about Kairos' edict of fire. I think myself brave, but I'm happy to have been far away from it all. Must have been a terrifying honor to be a messenger of such righteous force. Go on in. Go on in. The soldier gestures towards the gate. The Archons are expecting you. You'll find them in the war tent, center of the camp. Then demanded Conqueror's will. Pentabor. Hail to you, Guardian of Law. The man dressed in merchant finery greets you with a smile. If you need a few excess rings weighing you down, best unburden yourself before battle. Okay, these are the backgrounds. Noble Scion, Soldier. I chose Hunter, so yeah. You know that the spheres suffer a merchant in their camp. There must be a man selling the only finest provisions and armaments. He wants to his collection of shields, rations, sashes, wineskins, and other sundries. Take a look and see what interests you. Let me see your wares. Let's see if we can find something you might like. Wait, where did I get these? When the fuck did I get these? Actually, I don't want to sell that. I don't want this wand anymore. One-handed and thrown. The fuck is this? Nine to 14 Pierce. I already know this sigil. Alright. Huh. Sweet. Especially used to create spells that affect distant targets. Rim Spike. Okay. Oh, Rhyme Spike, sorry. Ooh, it's an area effect. Sweet. 38 seconds. From a massive spike of ice on the target's feet, impaling and freezing them. Ooh. Alright then. Better quip. Glory to the voices of Narot. Projecting his salutations for all to hear, the grinning blood chanter raps against the staff against the ground as you approach. Fade by to Rivan, I presume. His smile quickly retreats, giving way to a sour scowl. I am Bitter Quip. I am here as an emissary of the Scarlet Chorus. Bitter Quip looks at you impatiently. What can you tell me about the Scarlet Chorus? The Scarlet Chorus is the future of tears. I fear only derision and pity for those who fear our inevitable ascension. Bitter Quip looks at you with a raised eyebrow. What in particular would you like to know? Tell me about the voices of Narot. He's the supreme commander and a public servant. He who sets us free but directs all. Bitter Quip smiles as he talks, his face turning flush. The voices of Narot is the epitome of what each of us can be. A magician without equal and the leader of uncountable numbers. The voices in the chorus are one, conquering, expanding, growing, changing, always stronger. Bitter pounds his staff on the ground. Glory to the voices. What is your role in the chorus? I'm a blood chanter. My magic can turn the will of man and the tide of battle. I have held command for 3 years now, though being forced to keep an eye on the dissipator is not the reward I had envisioned for my service thus far. It sounds as if you really like the voices of Narot. Bitter Quip blinks several times and scowls, says nothing. That's all for now. Bitter Quip nods as you depart. Horde. Soldier nods at you. Just making my rounds. Stay vigilant, Fatebinder. Keep an eye on the Scarlet Chorus over there. I like how Tunen has sent me to be a mediator when I'm clearly biased against the Scarlet Chorus in character. Which is actually pretty funny. Marcus? I am Lucia, this is Marcus. disfavored soldier points to the armored man next to her. And you must be the Fatebinder. From under the helmet, you hear an audible scoff. You've been assigned to babies. Assigned to your hospitality, Marcus quickly interjects. While you remain on this favored ground, if you should need a place to rest, we can make necessary reparations. What can we do for you? Is there any sport to be found in Apex, or do we only fight amongst ourselves? If you're referring to game, the chorus hunted many of animals to obscurity on the first wave of conquest. Most of the meat that we have to spare is salted, and perhaps more importantly, northern. I don't trust the southerners to keep their livestock nourished. The few animals we keep in pens or pits are for the higher officers. I'm sure you are entitled to a haunch or something or the other. I love to watch you eat it. It's just to remember the taste of fresh meat. Tell me about yourself, Marcus. I'm not sure there's much to tell you. I trained at Fort Resolution. This is my first campaign, and I'm proud to be with the Legion. I was wounded at the Gates of Judgment, but Graven Nash's protection mended me good. I owe my life to him. Are you bragging that you let your guard down and took a spear to the gut? You really shouldn't boast about how filthy tears been investing you in battle. Lucia rolls her eyes. You're just bitter that Lord Ash never seems to notice you. In all seriousness, I would take that spear again if that brought honor to the disfavored. Kairos knows we could use it. We are the elite fighters of the Northern Army, but somehow we still lack the Overlord's confidence. He shakes his head and sighs. What about you, Lucia? I do this. She unenthusiastically lifts her heavy shield, and I do this. She mockingly stabs in the air with her spear. Lucia shrugs. Playing host is not my strong suit. Ignore my sarcasm. I've seen the Legion through my share of the campaign. After much bloodshed, our pretenses of honor can wear me down. She turns a cautious eye your way. North is my home, and I consider each and every one of the ironclad bastards in this camp to be my family. You won't find another army where each member of the phalanx is as beloved and cherished as the next. You seem handy with a weapon, Lucia. Aye, and if you ever want some pointers to how I use a weapon of yours, just let me know, she winks. Lucia, are you flirting with Tunan's Fatebinder? Relax, Marcus. There are plenty of camp slaves if I ever want to scratch an itch. Although, she looks at the visors of her helm, you notice Lucia's eyes roving up and down your body. If you ever need someone to warm your bedroll, let me know. I sleep in my armor. I hope you don't mind. Okay. How have your skills fared in the battle against the Oathbreakers, Marcus? Every battle is a reminder of the Legion's superiority. The Oathbreakers have plenty of heart, but nothing can beat our northern values and Graven Nash's love. If you ever want to enjoy that feeling, it can spare you the time of day to cross iron. What's it like serving the disfavored? In spite of our name, the Legion commands more honor than any military in the face of Tyrannus. Unlike the chorus, there is tradition, discipline, teamwork, and unity of purpose. Marcus looks across the camp. There aren't many of us, but it's better that way. We're a tightly knit family bound together by trust and glory. Accurate enough, Lucia shrugs. I've seen the disunity of and bickering of the younger realm defenders. I feel like they'd be the most agreeable legion of Kairos' host, even if we're not always the most efficient. Well, Marcus, I'd like some training. Force Fatebinder. Marcus pounds his fist on his armor and salute. Okay, I see. Well, if it isn't the Fatebinder, what do you do? Finally, some time to break up the monotony of this stage.
You learn something every day.
Level up. Sweet. Weakness. Yeah, I know what they are. It's resolved. Vitality. I think I want to increase my quickness. Magic. Gain grants a bonus to lower skill. Arcane charge adds the spell breach affliction to thrust attacks. Okay. Charge strike. Charge of your magical staff. I don't use a magical staff. Defense. Shields. I don't use those. Those are delaying the next attack. I don't use shields again. Sweeping cone that hits multiple targets. Bomb strike. I don't. Ah, neat. Piercing throw. Save distance. Neat. Increase the range of your spells. Oh, literally, you can literally snipe them. Nice. Anyway.
Interesting.
Fate Binder. Oh wait, the Archons wait here. Yeah, okay. They await me, I get it. I would like to explore the area first, actually. Don't mind me, I'm just watching the troops. Who is this guy? Barrack. You can't make out the ironclad soldier's expression under his twisted helmet. He merely stares at you. Prisoners are not to be spoken to. Express orders, Fate Binder. Esotanus. Esotanus curses the air as the blade of thin iron breaks in half beneath his hammer. Repairing your weapons with strength is exactly why I got to trick this craft, but our supplies are spent. He wipes spit from his brow and gets a better look at you. Why not forge bronze? bronze will do in a pinch. Don't get me wrong. It can take a beating and get bent back into shape. Unlike the stubborn iron we have here. He glances at the pile of his work with dread. We always have plenty of tin and copper lying around, so supply's not the problem. It's a rare smith who can't churn out military-grade bronze consistently. More often than not, it comes out soft. Look around Kev. We're garbing the Legion head to toe in iron because it's cheaper and easier to produce around. For the masses, couldn't do that with bronze. They call the disfavored Legion the Iron Legion for a reason. Strategy and steel may be our backbone, but our claws are made out of iron. The good stuff comes from the smith in Lethian's Crossing. You mentioned the iron shortage? Afraid so. The last shipment was sent down. The Martini went missing near the Echo Call Crossing. I'm afraid they won't be able to be seen anymore now that the valley is sealed. Forge-bound iron is Tunan's responsibility. Why is this the first I'm hearing it? Keep your voice down. He's a Tannis flinches and lowers his own. Graven Ash doesn't want to cause panic or pass any information to the Vendrian Guard. Best case scenario, the iron tumbled out the boat and is rusting on the riverbed. Worst case, it ends up in the enemy's hands. If I ever find myself an echoholic, I suppose I can keep an eye out. I appreciate that, as does the Great General. More than you might guess. Maybe he isn't quick to offer his thanks to outsiders, but I'll know he'll be grateful for your help. It'll be a boon to the more effort if our honor is recovered. You can trust me to handle this. I knew that Tunin would be, and I dispatched you without good reason. The court isn't exactly known for gambling when its stakes are high. He glances at the grave beside him and points to a small set of notches of wood. You see that? That's how we can tell apart our shipments from the rest. Inconspicuous so people don't go snooping around. You want to keep an eye out for these? Good hunting. You want to keep an eye out for these. Good hunting. Small set of notches of the wood. I'd like to see your wares. How much money do I have? I am poor. Crescent runner armor. Oh, that's shit. I don't use shields. Dagger. I don't use staffs. That's a lot of money, though. I'll keep that for now. As for the Sun Soldiers, Javelin. I'm gonna use spears. Honor Guard's Phalanx. Falx. Oh, that's two-handed. No, I don't use that. Rusted Iron Sword. Yeah, I don't like that. Hide. Walking Death. Oh, actually, I'll need that. Whetstone. 2 penetrator attacks. Okay, no, I don't use that. How much money do I have? Wait, what's this? Oh, that's camping supplies. I'm looking at the wrong symbol. But at the same time, I don't want to spend so much money on these. So, Oh, that's a spear. Yeah, I don't use spears. I have so much money. Anyway. Oh, what do we got here? Yoink. Alright. Let's get this meeting going on. Man, it's gonna take some getting used to. Because I never played a Baldur's game-like system. Baldur's Gate, no, Baldur's Game. Yesterday, you tried me to wishing to, okay, perhaps the voices in your skull to come out to a consensus if you wish to be taken seriously. Good advice is flexible, changing in the moment. Besides, now we're agreeing with yesterday, you would, oh, okay, that's just a, hi. Hello.
That's 4 reports of avalanches in the mountains now. The Tearsmen can barely count past 9. They have neither the capacity nor the cause to close off the mountain passes. Either way, that leaves the 2nd and 4th cohort trapped outside the valley.
The Archon of War pounds his staff on the ground to punctuate his words. A large and imposing man to begin with. His profile is made larger by his still hulking suit of armor that hums with mystic energy.
Or it's the work of your perfidious Earthshakers. Only a fool would not suspect a traitorous Archon of poisoning the mind of his students with sedition. We would have killed the Earthshakers Guild for their master's treachery, but I'm sure you have some perfectly valid reason for allowing them to live as your pawns.
Well then. The Archon of Secrets passes the scepter between his hands as he speaks, twirling the rod in hypnotic circles. You will hear the voices in your head. Well, hello there, Fate Finder. We will be with you in just a moment. The emerald luminescence seeps from the seams of the Archon's ragged red robes. The glow is most noticeable where his neck ought to be. His mask seems to float and spin, never pivoting or bending naturally.
Hey, watch yourself. When these two get going, you don't want to get between them.
Verse whispers fearfully as she beholds the Archons. I will remain silent.
I always know you've run out of things to say when you resort to mocking my vassals. If we are to speak of treachery, why is it that my scouts see the Scarlet Chorus warriors defecting back to the Vendrian Guard? Your fearsome reputation has gone flaccid, for it seems you cannot control your soldiers. Or perhaps you simply choose not to.
My lords, the Fiendbinder has arrived. This favorite commander raises her voice. Oh, my lords, the Fiendbinder has arrived. The disfavored commander raises her voice, trying with little success to speak over the Archons. Perhaps we could table the discussion and let our guest speak.
Speaking of strategic failures, who was it that insisted the valley would need only a token garrison? For some strange reason, we can't seem to recall which balding halfwit grossly underestimated the enemy. Thoughts?
The Archon of Secrets twirls a scepter in a twisting loop. You hear the voices in your head. Can you hear us, Fatebinder? Cough if we have your attention. His leather-wrapped hands flipping the heavy rod with an effortless flow.
And I thought you had left agents within these Tearsmen when they surrendered. Either you failed to see this coming, or you knew and let it happen. Incompetent or in cahoots, either way, this mess has your filthy stink all over it.
The Archon of War lurches forward, resting his weight on his war maul as blue luminescence crackles around his armor.
We look forward to seeing you explain to Tunon why the Archon of War could not close the vice on this trivial little insurgency. When we are crowned the ruler of the Tears, we shall have this place renamed to Ash's Folly in your honor.
The voices of Nar tosses his scepter into the air, catching as it descends back down. You hear the voices in your head. Good, good. Now pay attention. You might miss something. If I may address the Archons. Hey. Governor Rivan. Long have we been honored by your iron, now we are honored by your presence. I must apologize for my lords. Temper runs high as of late. Apologies for the sudden entrance. I traveled long to be here.
Welcome, Firestarter. We have been eagerly anticipating your arrival. Perchance you bring another of Kairos' edicts to savage the enemy?
We were worried you'd never make it. So glad that Drostus' demise didn't cause further delay.
Oh, neat. Favor 2. Huh, I'm surprised that you're getting favor of that guy. Oh, okay. The Archon of Secrets turns his attention to you. The frozen rictus fashioned into his bronze mask greets you with a permanent smile. How did you know about Drastus? I only just came from the Adrian ruin. The Archon of Secrets chuckles softly, saying nothing.
The voices of Narod has all manner of eyes and ears. It's safer than not to assume he's listening.
I see.
And before you ask, no, I didn't tell him, so stop giving me that look.
I tell him bearing an edict of Kairos.
Once again, you bring us support in a time of need. We fondly remember your service to the Chorus in the taking of the Bastard City. We knew back then you were destined for great things. But we had not anticipated you would be twice honored with the task of proclamation. So, do not keep us waiting. What is the Overlord's will?
Yep. The Overlord's loyal servants must hold Ascension Hall by Kairos' Day of Swords. All in the valley shall perish. The earth sways with each word you utter, the air thickening with warmth as you pronounce the tersely phrased commandment, its every syllable drafted by the hand of Kairos. With the edict proclaimed, your pulse quickens and the muscles in your legs warn for a long trip down the mountain. You feel renewed, the tired limbs now nearly buoyant with vigor.
The Overlord means to compel us into action. No doubt the avalanches in the mountains are part of this ultimatum. We must conquer the Oathbreakers or die in failure. There is no room for error, and no other way out of this valley alive. We'll need to advance across the Mittani. We lose everything if we stand still. And we move to back up Plan Green. The Earthshakers didn't make it over the mountain in time. So we do this the hard way. Over the walls, instead of through.
The Archon of War taps a finger against his temple. A low rumble escapes from under his beard.
So you found your backbone at last! Oh, we were worried past humiliations would make you soft, timid. That was a record for you, right? The baker's dozen lost in one sortie. If you had waited for the chorus reinforcements, maybe we'd have eyes and ears on the matter.
The Archon of Secrets passes his scepter from one hand to the next, chuckling softly with each toss. You hear voices in your head. Watch him squirm. So many tears over replaceable, expendable, useless soldiers. I miss the old Archon of War. You never see the blood echo in a blubbering mess over a few dead killers. He'd use the knuckle bones of his best disciples for jewelry, and even made a breastplate out of his dead brother's ribcage, because that's all how a real man deals with grief. They call you the Archon of Secrets, but you suddenly don't seem to know anything remotely useful. I should not say that, because I'm a mediator. Learn to work together, or we are all doomed.
The Fatebinder is right. We're acting not as leaders, but as children. I've no time for your foolish japes and petty taunts. We should focus on the objective at hand, and that is taking the Mittani River, and then advancing to Ascension Hall and ending this edict.
Then enough talking. There's work to be done. My lord, Barak and his band have been drilled onto the Echo Call assault plan. The Crescent Runner should be briefing him as we speak regarding the latest enemy movements along the river. I will dispatch him at once. The Iron Marshal salutes, clapping her gauntlet to her breastplate. Barak? Though you only know him by name, Barak is the commander of the Stone Shields, and well regarded by the disfavored in high command. And I will ensure the chorus stands ready to march. If the disfavored can take the river, the chorus has the manpower to secure the outer ring of the valley.
Our soldiers clamor for battle, and at last we shall have it. Verse, we command you to continue guarding the Fatebinder. Tunon's chosen is our honored guest, and must be shown our finest hospitality.
I won't let you down, boss. He'll get through the campaign in one piece, as long as he doesn't do anything too stupid.
And, Fatebinder, one last thing. We still haven't forgotten how you handed over our agents to the disfavored just before the burning library sparked into being. We would be a fool to believe that Tunon sent us an impartial Fatebinder, but prove us wrong. Prove us wrong.
The Archon twists his scepter one last time. Swing by the Scarlet Chorus camp before you get wrapped up in whatever errands the disfavored demand of you. The Scarlet Chorus could benefit from your expertise. Then taps the fifth eye on the shoulder and leaves you to depart.
Finally, the fool and his puppet are gone. Perhaps now I can hear myself think. Rarely do I question Kairos' judgment, but I will never understand why the voices of Narot is given such authority. I shudder to think what will become of us all should Tunon favor him in the end. Though the edict threatens the Scarlet Chorus just as it threatens us, I cannot shake the feeling that our allies will work against us. You've shown your worth in war, and your name has been known to the Legion since the very beginning of this long conquest. So I'd ask that you join us this one last time, to help us wrap up this last objective. If you wish to be counted amongst the glorious, speak with the Iron Marshal. She will direct the order of battle until we are ready for the final push into the Citadel.
I'm short a few scouts, short a few soldiers, short a few everything. I'm sure my brethren would be grateful for your assistance of a skilled outsider. And what of the Scarlet Chorus? How will they be helping?
I ask myself that question often. While we take the river crossing, the Scarlet Chorus should be using their sizable presence to remove the Oathbreaker patrols lurking in the Outer Valley.
The Oathbreakers have maintained a sizable force outside the Citadel. We need the Chorus's manpower to scour the region, otherwise the Oathbreakers will attack at our heels once we cross the Matani. And I'll be honored to help. The Iron Marshal salutes Graven Ash, then turns to leave the tent. I'll be at the training grounds, readying the soldiers. Find me there when you're ready. She pauses, clearing her throat, and though I am loath to mention it, the Chorus can likely use your assistance. They certainly will secure the Outer Valley on their own. Fit Fire would be somewhere in that rat's nest they all call camp, due east. Seek him out if you must. Well, that shall be it for today's stream. I'll catch you all in the next episode. For the time being,